up here more often.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Y'all have been here a few times in the past. You would remember or perhaps recognize that I don't realize the meeting's ready to start until Jamie leaves the room, and he didn't do that today, so I was very confused about the start of the meeting. But as you may know, quarterly, we recognize new agents who have joined the brokerage. And today is the end of one of those quarters where we do that. So we're going to bring out our red carpet welcome after the keyboard starts working again. All that clicking and stuff causes all kinds of issues. So, red carpet welcome. So, got some great people today. It's an honor to be in business with them. And we are going to lead off today with Caitlin Karam. Caitlin is the mother of 3 wonderful children. Purchased a boat before she got a car, because of course this is Minnesota and you can always buy a boat before a car. And she did get a car, her dream car, a 1957 Chevy. She does car shows with. So, welcome, Caitlin. Now, she did say that she chose KWPR for her powerful leadership, the energy of the agents lifting one another up, and the undeniable feeling of home the moment she walked through the door. And I'm going to tell you, I work with her on a regular basis. She brings that feeling to the people around her as well. She is fantastic, a great person to have around. Love having her around. So, next person we got another new person. We got Avery Daly. I want to introduce you to Avery. Avery, Brian Stordong. She loves playing pickleball. All right. She has a very active lifestyle, loves being social, chose KWPR because she has always heard good things about it. And from her own research, she realized it was the best fit for her. She has joined HHG, so let's give a big hand for Avery. On top of that, we have Alex Westhead. He is hanging out on Zoom. Alex, say hello.
Hello.
Hello. He can't even find me, but he is working over there. And Sean Rusing has joined us. He is a solo agent. Sarah E. Tuttle Lopez is a solo agent, and Tony Agbar, a solo agent. And one thing I didn't say about Alex, and I do want to point out that Alex, he has an announcer voice, so he is silently critiquing me through this whole thing. So keep that in mind as we move forward. And I'm going to pass this over to Jamie, who's going to talk wonderful things about these meetings that we have had and are coming up.
Hey, welcome everybody. I can't express how great it is to see you. We often take for granted people that we get to see and don't see in our lives. I'm blessed to be here with everybody here. Thanks for being here. And here we go. It's been an awesome month. We started with Al.
We are. You can call me out.
Yep. We learned how to hike a ball. And then Lord knows what we learned here. And today though, this is the power hitting, the 4-hitter. And what is our mission? Our mission is to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning,
lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving.
Oh, dang, I want to do that again. That was great. And everyone say Bryce.
Bryce!
So let's give it up for Bryce, player of the week. Play of the week initially because in the past month he was a top 3 in the region, not just here, top 3 in the region of giving to KW Cares. That's pretty amazing. And since this is his anniversary month, I like to look at it and say, hey, how has he done since he's been here? He's up 44%. Who else do you know who deserves to be up 44%? Please send them CC's way and Jason's way. Woo! And if you do, maybe the KWPR dancer will come out. Oh, that's just a glimpse. That's just
running man. Come on, let's see the running man.
Don't give it to me next. You're dancing next.
Busy me.
Don't give it to him. Make him earn it.
Yep. So, well, real quick, who do you know that has done something here that you're like, wow, personally, professionally, or people around the office that are just doing things that you're just super grateful for. We'd love to hear from you. And speaking of people we love to hear from, come on up, Toddy.
Toddy!
Go Todd.
Sorry, your song didn't work.
Oh, it's okay.
I'll play it on your extra.
Outro.
Outro.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so this month and upcoming, we have events as always. So we have a happy hour happening at our Robert Thomas Build on October 23rd. That is going to be fun. As a reminder, we have the Mind, Soul, and Goal Retreat. There's 10 people signed up right now, and I know they would love another 8 people to be signed up. So get signed up for that. It's happening on November 1st. Lots of good things happening there. You can stay the night. You don't have to. You can go for the day. Lots of bonding and business planning, reflecting on your last year. So there's the QR code to sign up for that. We have Win with Sellers coming up with Pam. Thank you. Understanding contracts with clients with Bryce. So those 2 classes will be really great. This is new and exciting. We have Patrick Woods coming mid-November to do business planning. So this is going to be really good. $49. Pretty much an all-day thing. It'll be right here at KWPR. So another great way to plan for your next year. Save the date for the Gratitude Potluck happening on November 19th. The
Gobble, gobble.
sign up. What is that?
Gobble, gobble.
Oh, yes. Yes, gobble.
Where's my partner in
The
crime?
sign up will be coming out on Monday, for everybody to sign up for that. And then we have our wonderful Tasha and Mary hosting Turkey Bingo that day. So, I think that should be pretty entertaining. And then we have the
You're
Save the Date with Photos for Santa, December 4th. Yes, that is a Thursday. We know that it's a Thursday, that's intentional. It will be here at KWPR from 4 to 7. And like I mentioned before, this year's gonna be ran a little bit differently, but I think it's gonna be really great. We're gonna have a whole experience, Santa experience happening in the resource room for kids. And then also Santa Sid will be here taking photos in the training room. The sign up for that is coming soon. So, thank you.
Thanks, Toddy.
Yeah.
Lance, did you find the outfit and does it fit? The outfit. There you, Lance, up behind you. Let me know.
Can't find it.
Well, we need to order one quick.
We can
Those of you who don't know, well, he and Bob Martin, who's a 7-foot tall person, wore elf outfits for events, and I can't.
Be careful what you're chuckling at, Will. Gas might be
Short. No, he's not making eye contact.
You need to totally avoid me with all that stuff.
All right, well, that's the meeting, everybody. Have a good day.
No.
Speaking of someone who knows how to have a good day, let's welcome up Melissa.
Thank you. We want to pause and give a moment of gratitude for everyone who worked so hard to collect socks for our sock drive. Those people who donated may be curious where the socks went, and last week we made a whole trunk full donation to Sharing and Caring Hands in Minneapolis. And we're very proud of Kelly, who drove with us to Minneapolis for the first time in 15 years. We were really thankful to her for all the help that she gave to everyone. So if you were like me in September and your life was absolutely crazy because of kids and schedules and nuts, and you missed that wonderful opportunity to do a collection drive, there is another opportunity for you. And so you can gear yourselves up and get ready in November. Our St. Paul Area Association of Realtors tagline is Better Agents, Better Communities. And one of the things that they really want to make sure that you, when you're licensed with the St. Paul Area Association of Realtors and the Minnesota Association, that you do is you make sure that your sphere recognizes that you are not just selling houses, you're making a very, very big difference in the community that you live in and that you work in. So they have their own tradition, kind of like we have September, they have Thanksgiving back, and it's every November. So if you'd like to participate, that would be amazing. In the past, they've done fun play on words in the past, like last year. They collected soup, be a superhero. They collected bars of soap. They said raise the bar. And in 2022, they said TP is our jurisdiction. And so I think they do a really good job of playing on words and making it fun and clever. So this year is going to be a cereal drive. They're suggesting you say we are seriously giving back. And they have cute phrases like, it's crunch time for the community. A balanced realtor diet includes generosity. So this gives you an opportunity to post on your social media, maybe door knock your VIP clients, maybe farm the area that you work in, do a collection at your church, at your school, at your gym, maybe get some kids that you know who are a part of a club to do this as a collection as well. So they provide great resources for you. They have lots of things on their website, and I posted that on Facebook yesterday. So you will see it in the Friday emails. You will also see it online, and you can always get the information at spar.com. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I could tell by your reaction to the cereal in there that I could probably take that wicked one and just give it away now.
We're not eating that one?
No one's eating that one. I don't know why. We have a vendor to hear from today. Jason's gonna pull him up. He is on internets. So let's hear. Hey, Miles.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome, sir.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna adjust my camera. There you go. Thanks for having me. Let me share my screen real quick. All right, everyone sees that? All right,
Yes.
great. Yeah, love the energy you guys have this morning. So yeah, thanks for having me. My name's Miles. I'm an SDR here at Haven Lifestyles. I'll just briefly give a brief little slideshow about who we are, who we reach, all that kind of stuff. Happy to answer any questions at the end. And yeah, thanks for having me again. All right, so who is Haven? We're a leading publisher of real estate and lifestyle content across all 50 states as well as Canada. We use data-driven insights to create curated content relevant to readers in each market, and our multi-platform reach ensures extensive visibility at an exceptional value. So in regards to how many readers you can expect to reach each issue, between our print and digital distribution, we get around 15,000 readers per issue, breaks down to about 3 cents per reader. One stat we compare that to is to postcards, which are on average about 50 cents per recipient. It is important to understand that those readers are different from impressions, as readers are quantified based on the length of time they engage with the issue's content. Our website also receives 200,000 organic visitors monthly, in addition to the 2.86 million monthly impressions we see across our digital footprint. So I'll just briefly go over some of our pricing options. Happy to go more in depth if anyone has specific questions, but basically these are our starting rates. The best way to lock in our lowest and most consistent rate is through our monthly subscription. So you'd pay monthly, but we release a new issue every 6 weeks. When choosing the 6-month or 12-month term, you'd have the option to switch up the artwork between issues. We also have our premium placement, so that would be like the first 20 pages of our magazine. For reference, our magazine length varies per issue, but it is typically over 100 pages, so this option can significantly increase your exposure. Now I'll just clarify the package as a whole. So there are 4 points of exposure. You'll of course receive the physical magazine. You'll also be getting the online listing article. You know, we understand readers probably won't be flipping through over a 100-page magazine online. So the listing article is where we'll be targeting potential clients based on their online behavior, driving those 15,000 readers to the magazine. Third, you'll have the social media campaign to promote your listing. So this would look like regular paid posts on, Instagram, Facebook, all those major sites, targeting potential clients based on their interests. So for example, if you have like a new development opportunity, we'll target the ad to people who have been looking online at similar stuff. And finally will be the landing page. Again, this is where potential clients will be able to see everything about your listing. There'll be a contact form right there so they can reach out to you directly. All the leads will go directly to you guys, the agents. So our process is very straightforward. You'd send over, like 4 to 6 photos with some text. You can collaborate with our in-house design team to craft a custom ad tailored to you. Our designers will be happy to, work back and forth as many times as you like until you're 100% happy with it. Nothing will run without your approval. Once we do get your approval, you can expect an email from us with the digital link to the magazine. You'll also receive those physical copies as well. So if you'd like to try this out, we actually did just start working on the newest issue. We'll be going live in late November. This is my email here, miles@havenlifestyles.com. So feel free to jot that down, reach out to me directly if you have any questions. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Nice, well, thank you very much. Did you say that you had something to give away? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, so we also have a raffle spread appreciate you guys giving us the time today. We'll be raffling off a 2-page spread in our upcoming issue.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh, so if I were to ask someone to give me a number, and then Kelly has a list of everyone who's here, online and here, and that person would win. How about that? Ryan, throw me a number, brother.
22.
22.
Yeah.
Jen Schlake.
Awesome. Jen's gonna be even more famous. Miles, we'll have your information out here. We'll get your information to everybody, so if they have questions, we can reach out.
All right, sounds great. Yeah, I'll be in touch with the email for the winner of the raffle, and our design team will work with them. And yeah, thanks for having us again.
That's awesome. Thanks, Miles.
Thanks,
Be blessed,
Miles.
sir. We would have had him in person, but he's miles away. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Ken Wright.
That's a new one. New walk-up song.
Well, people are getting pretty, feisty and fighting hard with this.
I like it. I like it. It was gonna be Celine, but he said no. First off, we need a new photo. We gotta send that over at the group.
Well, I can make one if you don't.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
He's seen some of the ones you've done.
Yeah, we'll handle it. We're good. Let's get our phones out and get Kahoot rolling.
Alright.
And we made a couple changes. Nope. Nope.
I tried.
Flip 'em.
There it is.
There you go.
Okay. So, a
He's
couple
hanging out.
changes. We increased the time limit to 30 seconds so that you have some time to evaluate the questions. And we've also tried our best to keep the print larger. Did ask Olivia for a 400-inch TV. We were told no. The LA Rams Jumbotron was not available, so we're gonna make do.
Really?
Has everyone in this room Kahooted?
No. Yeah. I watched it if you.
We're all Kahoot experts?
A lot of cahooters.
Okay, if you haven't Kahooted, I'll just give you a really quick breakdown. You get logged in, there's gonna be questions that come up. In your app, there's gonna be different shapes and colors. You select the answer that you think is right. Right answers are get points, but also speed. So the faster you get to that right answer, you get points for the faster you answer as well. So we want to just kind of make sure that we're getting the right answer, but the faster you can get to that right answer, the better.
And it doesn't
Okay.
look like Scotty's here today, so.
No, Scotty's here.
She's here?
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, I missed you, Scotty.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna boycott this.
Oh,
I'm
no,
not.
I was gonna say, you're the fastest, so.
We gotta help Colin here. I think there's a translation problem between.
Yeah, I don't know.
Colin's struggling.
Trying.
Those Canadian phones.
Yeah, Colin struggles regularly. There we go.
All right.
Yeah, Cahoser, that's right.
Okay, guys. So we're gonna let Colin get in. There is we do need to do some dethroning of our finishers. So we're looking for a new champ. Okay, we ready?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'll read. Question. What does it mean to buy down your interest rate? we're buying down our interest rate, what are we doing? Can't read it? We got 30 seconds. So paying extra each month to lower the balance. Paying
My eyes
upfront
are
to lower
getting
your rate. Refinancing your loan for a shorter term, asking your lender for a discount. Nice, love that. So, when we're buying down our interest rate, I think we talked about this, in the last group. Does anyone know what we'll call those buy downs? What's it called? Points. Discount points is the full terminology. I will tell you that, as the lending industry has evolved and as it's changed and as there've been like this huge wave of online lenders, you get a lot of people that just completely misunderstand the terminology of a discount point. I hate that it's called that, but that's what it's called. So you're paying your points upfront to lower your rate. Does anyone know, this is a general rule of thumb, for every 1% that you pay, roughly how much does it change your rate? Does anyone know for like a full point, 1 full percent, the rough?
0.01.
Yeah, and it varies, but it's 0.25.
You're getting a little ahead of yourself in the question.
Shoot.
Friend.
Someone play the music. Alright, anyways, maybe you think about
Right.
What is another name for a permanent rate buy down? Temporary buy down, lender credit, discount points, or rate lock?
Rate lock.
Just gave it to you guys. It's the discount point. See? That's great.
There you go.
We're good. Trick question. So no, discount point is the permanent rate buy down. So, sorry Alex, can't do anything about it. Discount points is paying down your rate permanently. Before we get to the next one, I do want to talk about this really quick. Why is it important that you talk to your clients about discount points? And if you see, and how many people in here ask for their clients, if they're using a lender that you're not referring, does anyone ask them for a copy of the loan estimate? Does anyone in the room do that? Other than Scott? So here's something that I would say. It's not, my honest opinion is that you're not being nosy. Part of our jobs is to make sure that we are being advocates for our clients and being educators of our clients. And I don't expect you all to be loan officers, but at the end of the day, I do think it's important that we have a general understanding of what that looks like. Throwback to a couple weeks ago, what's a really good way, just really quickly, if we're looking at someone's loan estimate to figure out if they're getting a good deal or not? It's an acronym. Was that?
APR.
APR. If you see someone's interest rate sitting at like a 5.5%, that APR is 1.5 to 2% higher than where their note rate is at. It's a really good indication that they need to be talking to somebody else to see what that number looks like. Why is that number in there? What are the overall closing costs associated with this? Is there an origination fee in there that isn't with this other lender, but we're charging a lower rate? It's not always the best thing to, and this is where online lenders do a great job. They are great at getting you to click apply now because those interest rates look super attractive, right? And then a lot of times behind the scenes, there's an insane amount of points, or they're using completely out of this world title company fees that don't apply here. So looking at those discount points, and it's not always the best thing to pay those points either. So keep that in mind. How much does one discount point typically cost? Yes.
We never talked about that.
We didn't talk about this one, so 0.25% of the loan amount, 1% of the loan amount, 2% of the loan amount, it depends on your credit score. So how much does 1 point typically cost?
I don't see 100.
It's probably because it's not 100. Maybe.
$100.
Okay, so, see, okay, 1%. A discount point typically costs, a discount point, 1 point is 1% of the loan amount. Did I give the other answer to another future question? Okay, so I can cover
I don't
this
think
one.
so.
The
I don't
1/4%,
remember, honestly.
the 1/4% refers to roughly how much 1 point will drop your rate. So if your par rate is 7% and you're paying 1 point to get that rate lower, usually that 1% in discount lowers your rate by a 1/4 point. So you're usually paying 1 point on a par rate of 7 usually gets you down to 6.75. I get a lot of clients that'll ask this question. Actually, Jenny and I were just in the room recently, like, hey, why is one fee this? Why is one fee that? 1% of the loan amount, people constantly think, oh, if I'm paying a point, my rate lowers a point. And that is not the case. 1 point is just the amount of the cost of that buyout, okay? What is the main benefit of a temporary buy down, like a 2-to-1 buy down? What's the main benefit? It permanently lowers your rate, eliminates mortgage insurance, extends your loan term, or grants lower payment in the first few years. What's the main benefit of a temporary buy down? Nice, okay. This one is a good one. So it grants a lower payment in the first few years. So, and I can't answer the next question because it's on there. So no more being said about that. Got it. Understood.
Why is this in school?
In a 2-to-1 buy down, how is the rate reduced? So, is it 2% lower the first year, 1% lower the second, then back to normal? 1% lower each year for the first 2 years, 2% off for the first 2 years, or the rate just stays the same in general, reduced cost?
I think it is.
Nice, okay. This is kind of tricky because this answer is actually a correct answer for a 1-1 buy down, okay? So I guess I'll poll the room. Have y'all seen a lot of 2-to-1 buy downs out there recently?
Yeah.
Mostly with who?
Builders.
New construction. A lot of new construction are offering the 2-to-1 buy downs. That's covered through the builder, and that's because they're the lender, right? That can get kind of rolled into the sell side of things. But yes, so that's what you're seeing. A 2-to-1 buy down, when it's referred to this way, when you see that buy down term in there, the 2 and the 1 refer to the amount of the rate reduction for the first couple of years. Has anyone seen another one out there?
3-2-1 contact.
You had the first part very close. 3-2-1 buy down. So that first year you're down by 3 years, 3%, second year 2%, third year 1%, and then it goes back to your normal rate. Here's a bonus question. If you do a 2-to-1 buy down or a 3-2-1 buy down, and if you compare that rate to a market average rate, which rate is typically better? Like the end loan rate. So let's say it's a 3-2-1 buy down with the first year is going to be down to a 3.75%, and then you have a regular standard mortgage. Which end note rate will be more attractive? The standard. So typically in buy down rates, the interest rate is inflated by anywhere between 1/8 to 1/4%, and then they buy down your rate by that 3%, 2%, 1% number to get you kind of lower monthly payments in the first 2 years. There is a really good utilization for this program, and that's if you think interest rates are gonna be going down in the time period that you are in those introductory terms, right? Because who wants to be at a 7.25% for the next, 4 years, so.
Hey Ken?
Yeah.
What would be like a standard,
10%, maybe.
like break even point?
That the standard rate is gonna almost always be better in the long run. If you're gonna stay there 10, 20 years, maybe you don't take these.
You'd have to calculate it based on like the interest rate of that time. I'd say like the general rule of thumb is like 8 years.
This is
The
your forever home.
3-2-1 buy down is a great program, but keep in mind, this is actually something that's really, really, really important to cover. Let's say a 3-2-1 buy down costs on a 300K home, there's actually a buy down calculator. You can Google temporary buy down calculator, and you can say $300,000 loan amount and a 3-2-1 buy down will cost me, I'm pulling a number out of thin air, $12,720, okay? It will literally tell you what that is. There is, in a 3-2-1 buy down, you are saving exactly what your buy down costs. It's not saving you more money. You are literally paying that dollar amount, and over the course of that 3 years, it will save you that dollar. Now, the benefit of the buy downs is that if you refinance in year 2 to get to a fixed rate and get rid of that, you get that buy down subsidy, you get a portion of that back to reduce out the principal. So it is really nice when it's being offered by a seller, but if it's being offered by a seller and you roll it into your loan amount, it's kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul. If it's a true buy down incentive, like what the builders are offering, it's really hard for me to argue that that's bad for the consumer. That's good for the consumer, because the price of the home is gonna be the price of the home. And they're offering a temporary buy down. It's a free hedge, essentially look into the market for the next 3 years, and hopefully rates come down by then and you can refinance, and whatever subsidy you didn't use, you get that back off of principal reduction. So, but the break-even point, if you were to take that standard rate, it still shifts in the favor of the 3-2-1 buy down, as long as the seller paid it. You didn't roll it in. It gets complicated there, but yeah. Oh, Scotty.
Asking questions?
What's a potential downside of a permanent buy down? What would a potential downside of a permanent buy down be? The interest rate might go up, can't refinance later, the lender charges monthly fees, you may sell or refinance before breaking even. So what's the potential downside of a permanent buy down? You may sell or refinance before breaking even. So people that are paying a large amount of points to get that rate down, or a significant amount of points to get that interest rate down, we as a team and as a firm really try to educate our clients that, like, listen, the key differentiator between a lender that charges points to get the sexier rate and maybe someone local that, runs their business in neighborhoods that share the same social circles, is that we want to make sure that our clients understand what their break-even point's going to be. So if you're paying 1% to get a 1/4% lower rate, that payment difference might only be, $75, $80 a month, and you're paying $3,000. Well, what's the break-even point for $3,000 paid for, let's call it $90? It's 33.3 months. So you've got to be in that mortgage for 34 months before you've even broken even with the points. So if you refinance in month 20, you're better off having taken the higher interest rate and not paying as many points. Does that make sense? So we evaluate what that break-even point is. Sometimes it makes a ton of sense for someone to pay the points. Sometimes you have to pay the points to qualify for the mortgage. It's just the way that it works. But in most cases, paying an exorbitant amount of cost for points to get your rate down by 1/4%, 0.3% doesn't always make sense. So, all right, winner circle here. We have Alex. Who's that?
Tom.
All right.
Scotty.
On a side note, if anybody needs sunglasses, Scotty might have a couple extra pairs.
Again, anybody needs
Thank
a
y'all.
jacket?
I need a
Thank
jacket.
you. Hey,
share what you made or have pending in Legion Plus commission. Scotty is $500 shy of 10 grand in the Agent Plus program. If you have any more questions about that, see Ken and the gals. And speaking of amazing gals that are the money, the bomb, let's bring up Grace and Toddy. This is entertaining as it
Is that an East Coast swing or a east side of the room swing or?
Coming up with the camera.
Oh, hey girl.
I don't know how to get it with the camera.
You're killing it.
This is awkward.
Need a step ladder or a?
I think so, yeah. Well, hi everyone. You know, I've been here for a while now and I've never been the spotlight, so this is fun. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Okay, so this is Unfiltered with Toddy, and then we also brought Grace.
The filter.
So yeah, she's gonna be the filter. So I think most of you obviously know who I am and know who Grace are, but because it's the normal thing to do, we're gonna introduce ourselves. So I'm Toddy. I'm the Agent Services Coordinator at KWPR. And I'm also not the youngest member on leadership anymore. That would be Grace. And I do want to credit myself for hiring her. I did hire her. And I also came away with a super awesome office mate. She's great at marketing and also a personal stylist and personal assistant. Yeah. So I really made out well. Yeah. So we're gonna humanize Grace in this first section. That's what ChatGPT told me to do. So that's what we're gonna do. And then also, I just want to point out that Grace is super nervous. And so she's nervous of public speaking. And I, you know, like in Bible study when it's your turn to read and all of a sudden you like don't know how to read and can't read a verse and all that, that's me. So I brought like 3 pens so I can keep track of where we're at. So we're both equally nervous, okay?
Okay,
Okay. So Grace, for anyone that doesn't have the joy of sitting next to you every day, can you tell us who you are?
Yes, I'm Grace. I grew up here in Chanhassen, and then I went to school at Grand Canyon University in Phoenix. I graduated there in 3 years with a degree in business management. I was there for 2 years, and then I did my last year online while I worked full-time at my previous position.
Nice. I went to school for 3 years and I never graduated.
Which 3 years were those?
Yeah, I was at University of Iowa though, so maybe it makes sense. I don't know. Okay, so how did you end up in real estate marketing? Did it just, you know, was this always your plan or did it just happen? I know that me being your boss at the time helped, but.
Yeah, it kind of just happened. So I was looking for kind of a change in pace. I was doing marketing and photo shoots at my last position. I actually am good friends with Eli Winslow's wife from HHG. So I knew about KWPR in this world a little bit. So then I applied and here we are next to Toddy.
It's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just do also want to point out that at the time, Olivia asked me if I would stake my job on the hire, and I said, absolutely not. No. And now I feel confident. I would say, yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, that's a compliment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, now, could you tell us a little bit about your first experience creating an Instagram page? We have a little fangirl on our hands.
Yeah, I regret telling Tony this.
Yeah.
My friends and I at 14 decided instead of having posters up on our wall, we would create a fan account for one of our favorite singers at the time. And we did that and it kind of blew up on accident, kind of. And he ended up like liking our photos and commenting on them, still greatest accomplishment of my life. But that's where I kind of, you know, fell in love with like the process of it and the strategizing of it to get like more followers and get noticed by, you know,
Thank you.
Who is this?
We're gonna leave that out.
Yeah,
we're gonna leave
the
that
fan account is still active,
Yeah.
so we're gonna,
Yeah.
not active, but it's still out there. so
Yeah.
we're gonna-
She is still a fan girl.
Yep, still fan.
Yeah,
Is
okay.
it Justin Bieber?
No.
No, that would be mine. But mine didn't blow up.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, well, that's Grace, now you know her, cool. So we're gonna move on to, social media, okay? Because you're good at that. And so I just wanna start with a big one. A lot of agents feel like their feed isn't perfect, they're not perfect, yada, yada, yada. So they don't wanna post. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think nobody's feed starts out perfect, so obviously the goal is to have brand consistency, and I think after a couple of months, you'll start to notice that shift, and you'll notice by using like the same fonts, same colors, like your face in there a good amount with like real estate content too, you'll notice that shift, and people will also be able to notice as well when they go to your feed and see that brand consistency. So it just takes that first, and it's obviously like we're striving for perfect, but it's never gonna get there. You're always gonna wanna be perfecting it, always gonna wanna be tweaking it. But I think you'll get there eventually and you'll be happy with it once you are consistent for a while.
Okay, so they should really just rip off the Band-Aid and
Just start
Just
posting,
try.
just start going, and then you'll get there.
okay. Or they could just hire you.
Yeah.
Okay. So do agents need to post every single day to be relevant? Like, we've had all these like 5-5-5 rules, or, how often do they have to post? Do they have to post every day, or is that like a myth?
Kind of a myth. I think you should start with what works for you and what works with like your lifestyle at the moment, because people are gonna be able to tell. If you're posting content that doesn't matter like constantly and nobody's interacting with it, stop posting it. Find something else that works. So I think start out, like if it's every other day, if it's 3 to 5 times a week, that's fine. But you wanna stay top of mind, so if you're posting like a feed post or a reel, you can combat that with the next day posting just a random story of a photo of your desk, so that you're still showing up on people's feeds, your name is still up there, your face is still up there. But do what works for you to start, and as you get more comfortable, you'll post more often.
Yeah. And then can you tell us what the difference is between engagement and followers, and then what's more important?
Yeah, so engagement is 1000% more important. I mean, followers are great. It's nice to see that number go up, but you wanna look at what posts are the most engaging for the people that are following you, right? So I think interaction of, comments, you wanna get people like in your direct messages, right? Because Instagram rewards that on the algorithm. So if they see people are messaging you from a certain post, they'll see that and reward that and wanna boost your post to more accounts. So I'll go over some stats quick. Found Ryan's stats. I've been running his social media since back in May. And I'll say on Instagram alone, his reach went up 480% in the first 90 days, and his interactions went up 174%. So his reach, what that means is how many unique accounts that you're following. So almost 4,000 people are recognizing Ryan's face, like potential buyer, seller, referral, now know his face and know they can go to him for anything and to refer him. So
Ryan's gonna have the best real estate year of his career, is what you're saying?
that's the goal.
Okay,
Yeah, we're
that's a
working
lot
on
of potential there.
it. Yeah, lots of
4,000
potential.
people, Ryan, are you
26
ready?
is gonna be great, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
okay.
Yep, and then he also across both platforms gained over 200 followers. So followers are great, and that's great to get more people to see your stuff and more people to interact, but at the end of the day, the interactions are what's most important.
Nice, that's like pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, good job. Okay, and then you've said before, I've heard you say it, I hear you say it all the time, authenticity wins. So I'm just curious, like, what does that look like? Because, realtors sometimes like to have super out-of-date headshots, like, is that authentic? Or like those AI generated photos. I'm not talking like when Jamie puts poop on Olivia's head, I'm talking like like you look at a photo and you're like, wow, they look like they're 12 when they're like not.
Yeah, I think now more than ever, authenticity is like the most important thing on social media. I'll take it back to Dana Gentry at the Agent Summit. She said your brand is who people think and see you as, and if you're posting yourself as someone who you're not, people are going to be able to catch that immediately, and then when they meet you in person, they're going to notice immediately. So kind of going back to what I said about consistency, like we talk about it all the time, consistency over perfection. If you're trying to look perfect, people are gonna be able to notice. So I think genuineness is the most important thing on there, and if the photo isn't exactly like how you want it to look, that's okay. And eventually, like I said, you'll get better at it. So like you'll get better, you'll know what angles you wanna do, but Dana also points out, you look like what you look like, you sound like what you sound like. So post.
Yeah. You are who you are. I
I
am who I am.
People will be able to see immediately if it's AI generated content. People are getting better at noticing that stuff. So if you're posting something that's super edited, people aren't gonna wanna stay on your page for very long because they're gonna think that you're not genuine.
Yeah, that's a good point. It'd be weird to see your realtor like looking 12 and then seeing them in real life and then being like, oh.
That would be weird.
It would be
A
weird.
12-year-old, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't know which one's weirder.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so big debate, I think in every office, should people have, or should agents have separate business and personal pages, or should they combine them? Because I feel like we've heard it all. Nope, you should have both, nope, you should have separate. You're the pro, so what do you say?
You should have one. I don't think it's a good idea to separate business and personal. I think when you combine the two, you get to choose what's personal, right? So you don't have to put everything out there, but you're one person, you're not two separate people. So that just makes it harder on you to run two different accounts. So if you're combining the two, and we'll talk about it later, I think, but like you can choose 3 pillars of content that you want to put out there, and some of it is personal. Use that 80-20 rule, 80% personal you and 20% business, right? So I think too, there's a lot of talk about what a professional account or a business account is. I think a lot of people are switching to a creator account, and that's kind of getting into the weeds a little bit, but there's a big difference in what you can do in terms of accessing certain audios, tagging people, collaborating with people, what you can do. So if you aren't already on Instagram and you are a business account, I would switch to a creator account, and you can ask ChatGPT how to do that, or you can ask me how to do that, and I can get with you on that. But that's super important in what you are able to accomplish on the app. So switch to a creator account.
And I feel like when you can join business and personal too, like people get to know you for more than just real estate, or it like gives you the opportunity to invite your clients in to know you personally, and then vice versa, where like your sphere and your friends get invited in to realize like, oh, they actually have a business and know what they're doing. So I feel like it's a win-win. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you want your friends to be able to see you as like, yep, this is my go-to real estate agent, and your clients to also be you as a friend, right? So I think combining the two is honestly what's easier for people, and what's gonna get you the most benefit.
Okay, and then you said that our personal brand is what really makes people remember us. So can you give us an example of what that looks like for you on your social media? Like how do you display that on your own?
Yeah, so I don't solicit my social media at all for like business reasons. But I have a private account and everything, but no matter what, like I still have a brand, and I unknowingly created this brand. I didn't purposely portray myself as a certain way, but you go on my feed and in 10 seconds you can figure out that I love my friends, I love to travel, and I like to eat and drink. So like that's pretty much, those are my 3 pillars of content right there. So I mean, I get people that I haven't spoken to in years like swipe up and just like every time I post something and message me about how I'm never in the state of Minnesota, which is kind of true, but that's kind of the brand that I've built for myself unknowingly. But if you're doing it purposefully, there's so much more impact with that. So.
And those are your 3 pillars of content, but those are also like your 3 passions. Like that's what you're just naturally doing.
Yeah.
And then you post about it.
Exactly. Like I didn't do it on purpose, but that's just who I am, so people can tell in 10 seconds who I am. and it's the same person they're getting in person as well.
What do you think people think of me when you pull up my profile?
We've talked about this, yep. Yeah, I think you have a 1-year-old. That
It's
is,
authentic.
it's authentic,
Yeah,
that is about
That's
it.
my life. I
That
don't
is
have friends.
Scotty.
Yeah, no friends. No.
We're working on
I do
that.
have a husband. He's in like 2 posts.
That's always good.
Yep, that's good. Okay, so, authenticity wins.
Yes.
Yep, I'm winning. Okay, so we kind of touched on this, but how often, let's just get practical down to this. How often should we be posting? And then how often do you post on your story versus how often do you post on your feed?
I think what's practical for most people is probably every other day, or if you want to take the weekends, post Monday through Friday. I kind of have, what I do for a lot of agents is 8 to 10 feed posts every month, and then 2 to 3 stories per week. So it kind of varies on if it's a holiday, you post a little bit less. But batching content was a phrase that was used, and I know a lot of people were confused at the Agent Summit when that was talked about. But batching content is basically just prepping your content for a week or a month, however far in advance you want to do that. I do it on a monthly basis where I have content laid out for the entire next month. And so I know how often I'm posting, and I can strategically place those posts based on when people are active or not. So I think posting every other day, if you want to post every day, that's how you stay top of mind with people. But I would not recommend posting multiple times a day. That hurts the algorithm. So if people see that you are posting 4 things in one day, all of your posts are going to sink to the bottom and not go to multiple people's pages, because the algorithm sees you then as a business and not as a person, and they don't promote businesses.
So what kind of posts perform best for realtors, do you think? Or what have you seen perform best for Ryan?
Yeah, I think reels are the biggest thing. I think you can pull a funny random idea and think of it in a way that you can spin it for your business, or spin it in a way that's for real estate. A lot of people do that. I think if you're using trending audio, that'll just boost it naturally, trending hashtags. But reels for sure. I would also say personal touches are huge. Back to that 80-20 rule, if you want to see more engagement, if you're following that 80-20 or the 80% personal, you're going to get a lot more engagement on all of your stuff because people want to see that. So, and then of course business is great. I've noticed homeowner, seller tips, buyer tips, other real estate agents can share those to their sphere as well, which is great. And then people are also liking that and saving that for their own. If, they want tips on how to decorate their house for fall, or, get ready for winter. So, yeah.
So just things they can use.
Yeah.
Okay, and then our stories just for the Insta famous people. I mean, I make stories and they're really not good. I just talk to the camera about what I'm cooking.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah. Some people like it.
It works for you.
Yeah, it works. It's
It's
authentic.
engaging.
Yeah. I'm working on the, so I'm not Insta famous yet. But are the stories worth it? Are they not worth it? I'm doing it for my personal joy, but
Yeah.
I
I do think stories are worth it. Not a lot of people spend the time to go to the top and just click through stories, but the people that do usually are people that are interacting on social media regularly. So if you're looking for options for stories, call to action stories are best. I think polls are all fun and they're great. For pumpkin spice latte or apple cider. If you want to pick that and choose a poll, that's great, but it's even better if you can get people to swipe up and message you. That's a potential gift later on then too, if you keep that conversation going. And then, like I said, the algorithm rewards you if you're getting messages on things. So I do think they're worth it. I think polls are fun. People like them. People like to vote. But yeah, we're just sharing what you're doing throughout the day. If you're sharing that you're walking into the office, you just got your coffee, random stuff that you wouldn't think people would like, people do. Because people, going back to authenticity, people want to know what your coffee order is. So it's weird, but
Yeah, people do. I know I do.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wanna know.
yeah, for sure, me too.
You talk about 3 pillars of content. Can you, like we talked about, we know your hobbies now, and that's pretty much what you post about. But can you break that down? Like, how do people choose? Like, maybe they have 10 hobbies. I don't know, they like to knit, they love dogs. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you post about?
So, I think I talked to Cece about it a little bit, with her account, but on Instagram, there's an option to have like the highlights of stories on your profile. So kind of centering those a little bit of, you know, when you think about posting certain content, where does it fall, right? So that could be, well, real estate obviously is one of them if you're combining your business and personal account, which you all should. And then family, if you want to post about your family, again, you get to choose how personal you want it to be. So if you want to keep that private of just friends only and you don't want to post that publicly, that's great too. But that could be a pillar. Traveling could be a pillar, like you mentioned, like animals. I've talked to Tasha about like her community service and like what she does in her community. That's a great pillar of content to have and a lot of subject matter to post on because of how much you do. So yeah, I think you kind of get to choose that, like I said, but really take time. And when we were at the Agent Summit too, they talked about posting out, you know, when you think of me, what do you think about? Use what people said about you and frame that how you can create content from that. That's a great starting point. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. Now we're all gonna be really successful. Thanks.
Yeah, I hope.
So do people like, just, you know, do people need to be an influencer to succeed on social media?
This answer might scare people, but yes. I think the word influencer is, you know, touch and go. You know, nobody's in this room to be an influencer. I don't think you guys are here for real estate. So, but I think Dana Gentry made a comment at the Agent Summit about how, you know, not everyone is, or everyone has influence whether you like it or not, right? It just depends how you use it. So, like I said, I have a private account, but I have a certain like influence with the people that I have in my sphere per se. So how do you want to choose to use it? How much real estate content do you want to put out there? So yeah, I do think you kind of have to look at yourself as the influence that you're putting out. So yeah.
Well, before we wrap up and do a couple of questions, I know that we want to talk about a little bit of your menus of services and stuff, but before we do that, what are 3 things today that agents could walk away with and show up more confidently online? Just like top 3, they don't have to do all 3 of them, but if they picked one of them, they would just automatically be better.
Yeah, so the top 3 things I would say, figure out your 3 pillars of content. If you leave this room and post about when you think of me, what do you think about? Use that as a framework and choose your 3 pillars from there. I think, like I said, call to action stories to get more messages into your inbox. I think that's a great way to do it. And going along with that, day in the life stories. So like you could post literally a photo of your computer or notebook sitting at the table right now and say, you know, training today at the office. Go post about you in the car on your way to the showing. So just post like what you're doing throughout the day. It takes 5 seconds, and it could make a huge difference. So those are the 3 things I would say that would be most pressing.
Cool. Okay, so you have 3 menus of services.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
just go over them super quick. So yeah, on the far left, it's my traditional menu of services, all traditional marketing print products. In the middle, there's a listing concierge menu, so that's per listing. You get social media templates, postcards, and then a listing brochure per listing. And then my social media menu is on the far right, and that is monthly. We kind of go over like customization, but yeah, I do offer social media management services in-house here. So you can go to the next slide, or I guess I can. There's 2 QR codes that you can scan. On the left, you can book an appointment with me if you want to go over changing it to being a creator account or anything that we talked about today. You can book an appointment with me there. And then on the right, you'll see my marketing request form for any of those 3 menus that you just saw.
Sweet girl, you like sounded like you know what you were talking about.
Oh my
That's really good.
That's new for you.
We did it!
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it is noon, so if you need to get going, you feel free. But if anybody has a pressing question that they want to ask right now, go for it. Otherwise, you can come and find Grace. I know you probably don't want my input on social media, but I also am in her office, so if you ever need me, I'm there. But does anybody have any questions for Grace?
Yeah.
So you talked about Facebook and Instagram. Are there any other platforms that you think are up and coming or things you should be on? Or is it like, no, as long as you're doing these, you're doing good?
I do think Facebook and Instagram are the top two, but I would say LinkedIn is a good option as well if you want to just post like, take one thing, your best performing thing like out of the week and put that on LinkedIn. I think that's a good option. I also think YouTube, if you want to do YouTube shorts or like longer videos, you could post client testimonials there. You could talk about, the local market. I mean, I don't know how many was in the room for Ken Pozek, but he talked about it a lot. I think we're having a panel about that summit coming up soon. So, I think YouTube and LinkedIn would be second to those two, but the most interaction you're going to get locally is from Facebook and Instagram.
Nice.
Yeah, if we band together to help our fellow realtors and just go on and like different videos and such, just a like, does that help or hurt the algorithm if they don't go into the messages, if they just go on and like or love a post or a message or a video?
Any interaction helps.
Any interaction?
So like how many likes you get, comments are great too. So when you post something and people are commenting, reply to those comments. Find a way to reply because the more comments you get, that'll boost more pages. So don't post and ghost. Said a lot. But I think that's super important. So any interaction that you get on a post will help boost the algorithm, not just the messages, but that'll help the most. A good question.
Also, when people comment, is there a certain number of words they should do now, or is that gone?
No, that's gone. Yeah.
I love it.
Made it easier. So yeah, just any of that interaction helps.
Awesome. Okay, I have last question. Can you help with things that are not on your menu? Like obviously if people were like, how do I start a YouTube channel? Like can you help them with that or does it, you only offer things on your menu?
No, I help. Okay. I help with everything. So anything branding that you're looking for, anything that you can think of that you don't see on there, like koozies, pens, whatever, come talk to me about it and I can help you out and we can find a solution, but I'm open for always trying something new. Ryan came to me in May and said, I want somebody to run my social media, and I was like, great, let's figure it out, and we did. So he was a good guinea pig.
I recommend it too.
All right, well, that's all we got.
Thank you.
Ding dong, we'll get out of here.
Ding and dong, way better than we expected.
Yeah.
Don't forget to hashtag KWPR on all your posts.
Oh, yes. So, despite, I know they mentioned menu a lot, sorry we don't have food. I started getting hungry when I heard that. However, if you're hungry for social media, she will help you. Thank you. We're gonna roll up the red carpet, keep your spotlight shining, and have the next couple weeks Oscar worthy. We have Sole Agent Alliance next and commissions with the MCA, no team meeting next week. We love you all very much. Thank you for being here and investing in yourself.
I feel like I was